The Canadians, well, I've been pretty impressed with the Gow brothers so far.
Yes, very much. 17th Christian in the sprint competition. That's top-class racing. He hit all 10. If he hits all 20 today, again, a real opportunity for, I think, a top 5.
Yeah, 17 in the sprint, 13th in the pursuit, but missed 3 on the first stand shoot. So if Christian can hit the standing targets today, he could be in the money. Jeremy Finello goes next for Switzerland. Disastrous sprint, finished 73rd, didn't get a chance to race in the pursuit. And his personal best is 15th in World Cup. So anything in the top 20 goes down as a good day.
Yes, and his form, his shooting was good in Antholz, wasn't it? His second best race at 17th position. He missed 3, so good ski speed.
Now, the next man was on the verge of taking a medal at the Olympics in Pyeongchang. He shot 0-0-0 and then had a meltdown. 3 misses on that last shoot, pushed him all the way down to 24th position. Should he get to the last shoot, having not missed a target, that is going to be a big, big test for Jesper Nellin.
It really is, Patrick, and you know, so many times he's had some difficulty on that last time in, and Antholz only 3 weeks ago it 1-0-0, and then he missed 4 last time in, so it's a kind of a bad habit he's got himself into.
Yeah, Nellin, his skis are gliding beautifully, Mike, out of the stadium. It took him about half a second to get up to max velocity. And absolutely sensational skiing. It'd be interesting to see his first split. Usov is next for Moldova. He's not too hot in terms of the shooting this year. 73-73. He's 10 percentage points below the average performer in the top 30. He's a long, long way behind the men that have been winning this year. Now, here's a man that has won, and what a sensational win it was.
It really was, Patrick. I don't think we've seen anything quite like it. He had total confidence, total self-belief, and risked incredibly fast shooting. But he knew, he said, he knew he could hit them all, and he did just that in the pursuit. He does the same again today. He'll win again.
One of only 4 men to have won the World Championship pursuit on 2 or more occasions. Jacquelin winning in Antholz, winning here in Pachuca just a couple of days ago, and he shot the perfect 0. A perfect 0 could do him well. Comes from Villard-de-Lans, of course, which is where Martin Fourcade comes from. There's something in their bread, Mike, that produces some astonishing athletes.
Very much. I think it helps that they have that beautiful 30-lane range as well, and the club developments there are quite excellent. In fact, it's the Raphael Poiré range, isn't it? Named after the great Raph Poiré.
Now, Tarjei Bø, first of the Norwegians to start, the world champion in this event back in 2011. That, incidentally, the only time he's won an individual race at World Cup or major championship level. So Tarjei, he knows he can do it, but it's been a long time, 10 years since he struck gold.
I don't like talking about it, but Tarjei sadly has had a bad habit as well in this race of missing 2 on the last time in. The 2 events this season, he missed 2 last time in, and it was really significant. Take those 2 away both times, he could have podiumed. So a little difficulty dealing with that final couple of shots quite often.
Yeah, the individual Crystal Globe up for grabs as well due to the new regulations that were decided in November. Lygrid, Loginoff and Johannes Tingesbø, the three men that could win the individual Crystal Globe. Lygrid in the driving seat, having had a first and a second. If he goes top two, or if he wins, he's certainly not going to be bettered. Here we go with Ponzalomo, and the first gold for Sweden since the very first World Championships in terms of the men's sprint event. And Mike, can he do it again? He didn't have so much success in the pursuit.
Well, I think he has the potential. He showed that how calm he was day one in the sprint to hit all 10 for the first time this season. He had a long chat with his dad the evening before. I hope he has done the same last night. And his father, of course, Jyrki Ponsiluoma, he came 8th in cross-country skiing at the Albertville Olympics, so he knows what it feels like on the skis. But his father was telling him, hey, it's one shot at a time. You do it every day in training. Don't make a big deal of it. And he said that really was what calmed him down for the sprint.
Yeah, trying to pretend you're training rather than racing for a world title. Not easily done. Jake Brown. Now, he's done fantastically well here. Jake, 12th in the sprint event, dropped to 25th in the pursuit, but points in both races. A PB for him in the sprint event, never better 12. It'd be fantastic to see him back up in the top 15 today. And he starts with a purpose.
It's strange, isn't it? Well, once you've had your personal best and it's that good at a World Championships, he's got to be walking a little taller, feeling a little more confident through the rifle.
Now, Loginoff, who has won an individual this year. He won the last one in Antolt, so a top 2 position today, provided he doesn't get beaten by Lygrid. We'll see him challenging for the Crystal Globe. Mike, he's one of those men who shot 0.000 here last year in the individual, then missed 2 on the last shoot, pushing him down outside the top 15.
It's incredible. We know the skills are excellent, and at the World Championships last year, finishing, 15th, 1-0-1, and missed 3 on the last time in. Take them away, he was 3rd position.
Yeah, Tishenko for Ukraine. Incidentally, the RBU, the Russian Biathlon Union, yet to take a medal from these championships. They've come close, but maybe today is their best chance.
Yes, Mironova was pretty close yesterday in the women's field. Tishenko, he's good on the big day. Remember at the Olympics, he hit all 20, finishing 18th. Not quite the ski speed, but he's really good on this kind of day, the pressure shooting day.
Mukhin for Kazakhstan, and he'll be followed by Quentin Fillon-Maillet, who is certainly one of the favourites. In fact, Fillon-Maillet, teammate, of course, of Jacques Alain, who goes through 1.9, not quite the fastest, but no concern at this stage. Fillon-Maillet with a 6th and a 4th. He's going in the right direction. He's had a 4th and a 3rd in the 2 individuals this year, missing just 1 shot in Kontiolahti. A 19 out of 20 might see him in the medals and challenging Norway for the top position on the medal table. Welcome back to Pachuca. Early days, and we're only through to number 18. We've got 101 starters, so it doesn't take a genius to work out. It's going to take 50 minutes or so to get them all out on the tracks. And with Rastoguyev starting late, we've got Eberhard of Austria starting late, Garanichev going number 81. This race... particularly, Mike, if the conditions get a little bit faster, which they may well do as it starts to cool. Simoneda, a man who now we expect him to hit 20 out of 20. His shooting has been so good this year.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, and he's one of the few athletes who has equalled his father in this event. Well, that was 3 years ago when he took bronze in this event. And of course, his father had taken that. That was 2016. His father won the bronze medal in Oslo at the World Championships in 1986. So father-son, the same medal, 30 years apart.
Yeah, Simon 8th in Antolz, shooting 0.001. He's got a 95% hit rate for the season as we watch Emilien Jacquelin, the bronze medalist from the sprint, the gold medalist from the pursuit. All his focus, Mike, for the last year has been on that pursuit. Quite interesting to hear him talk as we watch Johannes Dahle. And actually, we better focus on Dahle because he certainly is a potential winner. 4th in the overall World Cup standings. And in terms of individuals, Mike, he's down in 23rd. So maybe this isn't his best chance.
You know, Dahle, we saw him when he won his first World Cup, and the emotions were pouring out. He really wanted his success, and I think he tried. In this event, if you try too hard through the rifle, the release of the shot doesn't go easy. You put tension through the rifle. I hope he can relax today. Finello, the wind there, it's not difficult today, much the same as the zeroing. The flag's just a little wobble from the left.
Now, a big moment for Nellin. Needs to remember his Olympic effort. That's a lovely shot to start. Built his position well. Good grouping so far from Nellin. And as soon as I say that, he throws one way low right. And that was a bad shot. Well, that's disappointing, Mike. The zero is obviously good. That was just discipline.
It was discipline, and he really has taken a long time there. I mean, this is old in terms of shooting times, very old biathlon, but we've seen more and more this season that the top biathletes are taking it easy. They don't want to risk anymore, except for Jacquelin, who blew that theory out of the water with incredibly fast shooting to win the pursuit.
But as I say that, Mike, the one factor we don't talk about too often is the ammunition. How often do you see a round fly off to the low right, like we've just seen from Jacquelin?
Well, I think that's more nerve. Jacquelin was trying to get that first shot so fast, he wasn't centered. I don't think he was aimed properly. 27 seconds. He had to back off the pace, I think, after that big mistake, shot one.
Sebastian Samuelsson, he has a silver medal around his neck. In fact, he has 2 medals because he was part of the Swedish mixed relay team that did so well. And then a fantastic run from him in the pursuit, out sprinting Johannes Tingesbø over the last 100 metres. Good tactics, I thought, from Samuelsson on that last lap of the pursuit.
Very, very much so, but it must be frustrating. Johannes Tingesbø getting outmaneuvered, just, 300 metres to go. He doesn't have the sting, the punch of a sprint finish. And here's big brother Tingesbø. Wouldn't he love to win it again, 10 years apart from when he won it in Russia in Khanty-Mansiysk? Again, low right. What's happening? Again, he needs to adjust those sights. Up 3, left 4.
Trouble is, he doesn't know where he's missing, but that's his, well, that's definitely the gold medal gone, Mike. Just watch the reaction. That is desperate after just 4 kilometres of skiing. He is out of the race. Sigi Mazet does not look happy with that. And I think that will make Mazet a little bit nervous when the rest of the Norwegian team come in, Mike. Is that possibly the zero, or is it the fact that he just didn't build his position properly?
Do you know, I think it, but he's so accurately there at 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock on the rim, on the edge. But, you know, it's a 45 mil target, and he's all down in that 10 mil section, accurate. But Mazet, I think, will be radioing out to the coaches and just saying, warning, from our zero, Tarria's way low right, just to let them know.
So the sprint gold medalist hit 10 out of 10 on that occasion. Not today. There's something funny going on in the range. We wouldn't expect so many to miss early on. Is the pace too high? Ponzalomo certainly chancing his arm. 10 seconds inside Cloud on that first run, but 2 misses and unlikely to add to his medal tally as Johannes Tingesbo, with a new haircut, sets off from the starting gate here in Pachuca, looking for one of the titles that he has yet to win. He's won 5 of the 7 disciplines in the World Championships. The pursuit and the individual have denied him so far.
Well, Jakob Fak starting now, Patrick. He'll be aware that big names like Ponzalomo, he's a gold medalist here, and Tarria Burr missing 3 and 2. He'll be aware of that in the back of his mind, I think, Jakob Fak, and I'm sure we'll see him shooting carefully, slowly, and hopefully accurately.
Loginov of Russia on his way towards the range. Now let's try and pick up his split time. Last split I had on Loginov, he was 17 seconds off the pace, Mike. So he's picked up on Cloud, but that's not the quickest time into the range, and we'll see what Loginov can do. He shot 0 to win in Antolz.
He did, and that was brilliant. I'm really surprised. Only 3 from the first 10. I've hit 5 out of 5. There's not much wind. Maybe it's about pressure. Top left this time, Loginov.
Well, he didn't hang around. One of the quickest shoots so far, 29.2. Jacquelin was 27 point something, and shooting pretty quickly for the individual. There will be those who panic and think nothing to lose. Let's let rip. 53 seconds outside. Cloud stays the unlikely leader for Belgium, and I think there'll be a big smile on Mickey Roche's face watching this at the moment. It was usually him who led for Belgium in the early stages of races, particularly the relays.
Jake Brown, good to see Jake Brown, calm, easy. That's a good pace as well, so a very good start for the American also.
Now, Phil Maillet, fastest on the track so far, 7 seconds quicker than Vindish. He was 8.5 seconds quicker than his teammate Jacquelin. He's going for broke. Can he hit 5? Still only 4 athletes clear on this first shoot.
Top left. So painful. You've just skied 4 kilometers. It's a 20-kilometer race, and then you're picking up 1-minute penalties early on. It's soul destroying.
Is this a bit of a nightmare for the coaches? Some of the big names going low right, some of the big names going high left. What advice do you give your athletes who are out on the tracks at the moment?
It's difficult, isn't it? I think you just let them be. They're going to have to just look at the flags as they come in. Maybe the Norwegians with the big name Tarria Burr missing 3. That was completely unexpected. And for me, it's amazing because look at the flags. They're 5 grams in weight. The wind, a breeze normally moves them. They're mostly hanging dead.
Dovzhan, who's had 2 pretty respectable results so far. He hit 10 out of 10 in the sprint, and obviously being Slovenian, knows this range better than 90% of the athletes here. That's a good start from Dovzhan, and he may match Cloud. 8 seconds to exit in a decent lane, and out he comes. He's only going to be just outside the leading time, so something for the Slovenians, all the volunteers who are in the stadium to enjoy. No fans here, of course. Here comes Johannes Tingesbo. Let's watch him up to 1.9. He's not gone crazy. Phil Maillet at 4:36, pushed down in second place, but 4:35.7 for Johannes Tingesbo. I don't think, Mike, he's all out at the moment.
No, and I think most biathletes on this particular course, we've seen Jacquelin, I thought, was quite pedestrian coming up here. Then he picked up his pace. You really don't want to attack too hard in this 20-kilometer. And then there's the timings.
Yeah, switches to skate one at the very top of the climb. It just shows you how strong, how fast they're traveling. Now, Simon Eder, 95% overall hit rate so far this season. His prone shooting, 97%. And you've got to remember, we've already got 17 races on the board. Here we go. Sadly, we don't have a close-up camera on every target. Business as usual for Simon Eder, and that's going to be a very useful time, Mike. He's a veteran in terms of biathletes, but he's so experienced that he knows that should he hit 20, he's really got a good chance of a medal.
Jakob Falk, that's okay. That's a decent pace so early on, but I'm sure he can lift it. Yes, that was good shooting there. Interesting shooting as well from Eder, Simon Eder. Just same routine as always. No change for the big deal day. Here's Johannes Dahle. Well, I was going to say his shot's a little low right as well. Then he's shifted a little left now, but all safe. That's a very, very good start for Johannes Dahle.
Yeah, it's a quick time as well. Eder's 10:18 is going to be bettered, so something for the Norwegians to smile about. I know they lead the medal table, but the Norwegian men have not been fulfilling expectations when you consider that they have number 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the World Cup standings. Christian Gau first in to shoot for the second time. They alternate prone, stand, prone, stand. Little flinch for 3. Decides against.
Yeah, that's good discipline. So you could see the trigger finger wanting to snatch it and the brain just cancelling. No, don't pull it yet. Rebuild, rebreathe, try again. That's okay, 1 out of 10. If he can get the next 10, still a fabulous race he can achieve.
23 just exiting. Simon Detieux, who of course took the silver medal in the sprint behind Poncelomo. Detieux wearing number 23. It's been good championships for him when you consider that he's down in 12th place in the World Cup standing. Certainly climbing with every race he's had so far. Now, the shade growing as the race goes on. Mountain ranges, Mike, are always difficult to compete in. The lanes can behave so differently. The light changes so quickly, particularly when the range is surrounded by trees. And Emilien Jacquelin trying to improve on his prone shoot.
He is going for the fast option. That's incredibly fast.
That's more like it. That, in fact, that wasn't as good as we saw in the pursuit because there was absolutely no hesitation between any of the shots. A little delay between 3 and 4, but Jacquelin clears the 5 and he's back in the money. Christian Gau is going down into second place, and the pursuit world champion has still got a chance of claiming the individual as well.
What is happening today? We saw Samuelsson missing 2 out of 5. First time in, so many big names. Poncelomo missing 2. Samuelsson. Terje Bo missing 3 out of 5. Awful starts to the races.
Yeah, that's 3 of the big names. And I was just going to say, the next question is, will this man clear 5? Mike, this season in individual races, only 50% of the time has he hit all 5 on the first shoot. That doesn't bode well for this race.
It doesn't, and last year he was in most of his races. You could guarantee his first 5 going down. He'll take his time though, Patrick. I think he'll take a long time in these 5 shots. Lucky.
The first and the last are the ones that are going staying up more often than not. He's been a bit lucky, needs this. That's finally in the middle, but that left shot, I think there may be an instruction just to change the sights to the right, Mike, predominantly everything going slightly low left.
Yes, I think so. You can just see there's a slight change, tiny change. The breeze was from the left. That died off, so it does throw your shots over left side of that golf ball size target. I think he was quite lucky with his second shot. It was an edge shot.
Yeah, the two brothers will be skiing this lap together. Johannes Tingis just about to come up behind Terje Botero, incidentally, going clear on his second shoot. Only 4 men still clear after 2 shoots. Jake Brown of USA having another stormer of a race. Cloud of Belgium and Christian Gau of... actually, that was up to... My mistake. That was up to the 7.1 kilometre stage. No one is clear after 2 as yet. And the best is Jacquelin with that 1 miss in the prone.
Claude, he looked so firm there, so much in control of himself there. Didn't stress, didn't press too hard. Jakob Fak in.
Yeah, it's looking good. Whoa. Yes, it goes down, it goes down. It sounded a little heavy, may well have been a split round, but we can only speculate on that. And Cloud comes out for Belgium with a good time. Jakob Fak is slightly off Johannes Tingis Bo's pace, but he's in the medals at the moment after the first shoot. And a 20 out of 20 may be good enough today. It would be fantastic to see him win, Mike. 8 wins in his career, but, you know, you're pressed to remember when he last got a victory.
It's quite strange, but we've always seen him come good at the major championships, and he first showed his head, showed his skill back in, 2009 at the World Championships. Big surprise winning bronze then in this race.
Yeah, it's over 5 years since he won. Now, Jake Brown looking very good after that first shoot. He's got the fastest time at 7.1 at the moment. And remember, he hit all the standing targets in the sprint. Lukas Hofer with a miss. It's not a quick shoot, but so far so good for Jake Brown. Can he finish it off? He looks calm enough, clears it, 10 out of 10, and we have a new leader here in Pachuca, and that will certainly get our viewers over on the other side of the Atlantic excited. He's showing a lot of promise, Mike, and what's so good is that he's consistent.
He is, and remember last year the only athlete to clear 20 targets last year was Leif Nordgren, and you know, if you're a teammate, you're coming through into the team, you've seen someone else in your team manage to achieve that score, that hopefully will give Jake a lot of confidence today. And so far so good, half distance in terms of shooting, and he's 100% hit rate. Well, that was rapid fire. He almost looks quite tense through his rifle. 21.4 seconds. Quite incredible. When Patrick Fabre won his silver medal in the sprint race here, 2001 at the World Championships here, he was shooting an awful lot slower than that. Most biathletes were.
So Phil Maillet matching Jacquelin for shooting so far as we switch to another of the French team, Fabien Cloud. His brother already out there, Florent, but Florent racing for Belgium, couldn't get into the French team.
Fabien, you can see the big silver weight there at the very end of the barrel, so not expecting wind today, but wanting more weight through the rifle. Often it makes it more stable.
That's a pretty loose shoot from Cloud and all the French. Strangely enough, Mike, this is what happened in Pachuca. They all missed on the first shoot.
Yes, and then seem to settle. Early season racing, that can happen, can't it? You need to get back into the race feeling, but they're well experienced now in terms of race fresh.
Dovzhan looks very comfortable, and he's producing a good shoot at the moment. Oh, just as I say that, the gap between 3 and 4 was minuscule, but I wonder whether he got a little bit too excited with that, Mike. 10 out of 10 would have been such a good position, and he would actually have taken the lead away from Phil Maillet. So it's a good performance so far from Dovzhan, into 6th place at the moment. But we've only got some 17 athletes through the second shoot. No one through the third shoot as yet.
Interesting. Dovzhan had such a good rhythm there, and then that hit 2.7 hesitation, and then the delayed pull through the trigger. So he was putting more importance on the last shot, as is often the case. You think, got to get the last one, and that thinking process slows you down. You become more careful.
Only 13 men clear so far after the first shoot, and the fastest of those is Johannes Tingesbø. 11 seconds taken out of Jakob Fak. He only won here last year by 12 seconds, Mike, having hit 20 out of 20. So he's gone hard early on. Krešmar,
well, I think the Czech Republic, the team must feel good after Davidova yesterday taking that something of a surprise win. She hasn't had a great season, and she put it together so well, hitting all of the targets. Really good to see the way the rifle's held with him being a left-hander. We can see the strength, the anchored support. I can't believe he's missed. I thought he was going to get his 100% for how so many times in his career he's managed to hit 20 out of 20. Not today.
Now, Dahle 39 seconds quicker than Phil Maillet coming in. Remember, the Frenchman with a miss, so that levels things up a bit and actually puts the Frenchman ahead. Cloud at 14, he's going to survive. Jacquelin 29, maybe pushed down into 4th place, but a disappointing miss from both Ada and Johannes Dahle. It looks as though a 20 out of 20 is going to be gold dust today.
Dahle, you just felt that there was tension there, you know, really over-trying. I mentioned that earlier. I'd love to see him just relax like we saw with Ponsiluoma on day one when he won the sprint competition. Johannes is attacking now. He started within himself, and now he's pumping up the pressure. Well, Johannes Tingesbø went through 7.1 kilometers, 27.3 seconds ahead of Johannes Dahle, and that really is a good time from Dahle, but a fabulous time from Johannes Tingesbø.
But Dahle has missed, Mike. Effectively, what Johannes is doing is buying himself one missed shot.
Yes, no, that was back where they were on level shooting prior to at 7.1, prior to Dahle coming in, so it's really fast on the track.
Yeah. Now, Christian Gau needs the same as his first performance in the prone position. Now, it'd be nice to see exactly where those are going.
Well, his big brother Scott Gau, I think he's just started recently at bib 44. Hopefully he can score slightly better on the range.
So now back to Jacquelin, and he will believe that he can win if he hits the next 10 targets. But he went low right in his first prone shoot.
Look at the movement there, the left hand, the right hand, the elbows, the shoulder, but you know what, you have to really bed yourself down well. That lost him 22.6 seconds though. And a further minute.
Yeah, that could be expensive. Sturla Holm Leigrid, a late start. Number 66 for the man who won the first individual of the season. He was second in the second. He starts today as the favourite. And of course, Leigrid is number 2 in the World Cup standings. But I think you've noticed, Mike, that the ski speed isn't quite as good. Now, let's focus on Johannes Tingesbø, looking for his first individual world title. Oh, he rushed that. He rushed that last shot, and that is expensive. But he was a minute 8 quicker than anyone else coming in. And with that quick shoot, he's going to remain with the green light. But that does give another big name an opportunity.
Do you know, that was so close. I reckon that was 2.53 millimeters high right. And as he was going through his sequence, I thought we're now seeing him back at his best. But there's still that little element of lost confidence to snatch the final shot.
Only 3 out of the first 28 have gone clear to the halfway mark as we watch Benny Dull. And pretty much middle of the field for Dull today, 39th and 31st in the 2 races so far. He is so much better than that. Should be really looking at top 10.
His ski speed, though, Patrick, again today it's 3rd fastest into the range. He set the overall 2nd fastest ski time in the pursuit competition, but he needs to hit more targets.
Yep, worrying times for Germany, and I should think Mark Kirchner a little bit worried about his job. They've been way off the boil so far. I think Kirchner will be hoping that Arndt Pfeiffer can do something, Mike. Pfeiffer is the man you call on when you want reliability. Now, Jakob Fak clear so far, but only 1 of the 4 shoots completed. Certainly, he has improved his standing shoot this season. Oh,
his right eye. I'm just thinking, I wonder, it's such a warm day, some opting no hats, some with the hats, but sweat often. He was really blinking much more than he normally does. I wonder if there was some sweat in that right eye.
Well, it's still a competitive time, Mike, and he'll just have to say, OK, the next 10 targets and I'm still in it. He might get a glimpse of the big screen and see exactly what he's got to do. Florian Cloud, one of only 3 men to be clear so far. Is he going 15 with 15? He is. This is going to be a wonderful performance if he can keep that going. And the French will be wishing he was in their team. Lucas Hoffer, who missed one in the prone.
He's there. Wouldn't it be wonderful if Florent Claude from Belgium, yes, could get on the podium today? He's worked hard, realised that this is his dream to do biathlon, wasn't included in the French team, and he had to change, and I would love that to pay off today. Hoffer's doing well. The Italians have had ill health, a cold, nothing worse than a cold, but it's affected Vera, it's affected Hoffer, and a couple of others in the Italian team.
So there are your top 8 after the 3rd shoot. They're actually the only athletes through that stage. A much warmer day than we've had so far. The athletes will be enjoying this. Jake Brown, first miss of the day. That's a real shame. 15 with 15 would have seen him challenging for a top 10. Now, Quentin Fillon-Maillet missed, of course, in the first prone. He's quick.
Still potential for a podium, I think, the way he skis, but he can't afford any more misses from his last 5 to come in 4 kilometres time.
Yeah, and the other news from the French team, Mike, is that Jacquelin has gone and missed on that second prone. So it's the prone shooting that has cost the French. Pretty much that's where they've been making mistakes this season. Their standing is excellent. Now, Pepe Femling, very competitive after the first shoot. Lying up in 4th position, just 24 seconds off the lead of Johannes Tingesbø. This could be good. It will be good. And with going 10 with 10, he's going to close the gap on the Norwegian.
I really
I was just going to say, Mike, he hasn't had his share of the press so far this season, Fenley, with Ponzaloma and Samuelson going so well.
Yes, and therefore not so much pressure or expectations. I really hope last time in we can see that wonderfully relaxed, uncaring sort of stance. Often he tightens up when it comes to the final shoot in a 20-kilometre. And Jesper Nellen, Patrick, he's missed 7. And that's only in 3 shoots, so a poor outing for Nellen.
Yeah, way down. 6:38 behind Phil Maillet, who leads after 3 shoots. Tishenko started reasonably early, just behind Alexander Loginov. Loginov not having a happy day for the RBU. He's missed 3, and he's down in 9th position. That's how to do it. That is how to do it, and it's a shame he hasn't got another 30 seconds per lap on the skis. Otherwise Tishenko could be challenging and looking for Ukraine's second. I was going to say second. They haven't got a medal yet at these championships. I was thinking of Belarus with Hanna Sola, who has got herself a bronze medal.
Yes, Tishenko there, so often on the big day he gets those 20. I mentioned it earlier at the Olympic Games, he did just that. The ski speed doesn't take him to the podium though. He was 18th at the Olympics. Kretschmer. Yes, and I was just going to say, Moravec still to come, and Moravec loves these races as well. Very calm when it comes to the 20 shots.
Kretschmer top 5, going through 7.1. That's going to drop him down the order a fair amount, but still competitive. We're waiting for Johannes Tingesbø to come in. We're waiting for, this is Johannes Dali about to shoot, but he missed 1 in the prone. In the stand, sorry. Johannes Tingesbø with 1 miss so far. Simon Eder back in the prone. He missed 1 in the stand, which was very uncharacteristic. 4 out of 4 this time round.
Well,
both individuals this year, Mike, 1 with a 0 shoot.
It certainly helps. We often feel the big names often feel the pressure, the expectations, and the expense of the squeeze through the trigger. 1 minute added onto your time. When you've got great ski speed, I think those athletes feel the pressure more than those who don't have the fastest ski times.
Yeah, Johannes Dali, 4th in the sprint, and he missed 1 on the last stand. Otherwise, he was right up there with the best. Behind Jacquelin, he missed out on his chance with that 1 miss. Now, Finello, 2 misses already. Really, it's about getting as many points as he can, trying to produce a result that will qualify him for the mass start on Sunday. Detieux for France, just settling for his 3rd shoot. Detieux has already missed 3, so he's that's 4, so he's out of contention. Finello with another miss, so 3 minutes in total added to his time. In terms of percentages, Mike, 3 minutes, they're doing way over a kilometre in 3 minutes, so that's over 5% with that shooting performance added to your time.
Painful, absolutely painful.
Big group of athletes led by Detieux. Number 2 is Finello, 43. Just behind them, of course, is Benny Vega of Switzerland. All the suits look pretty similar. Now, Lygrid for his first shoot, starting late at 66, and a man certainly expected to keep the race alive. His shooting this year has been second best to Simon Eder in terms of percentages. He's only missed 1 shot in the individual races so far this season. That's good.
That's fabulous. I thought his ski speed might be a little off the boil today, but he's absolutely on point. He's only 3.6 seconds behind Johannes Tingesbø into the range, and got out in first place.
Yeah, that is sensational performance. And one of the big advantages of going late, Mike, is he knows exactly what he's got to do. Jacquelin in the stand position, which he seems to prefer to the prone. 2 mistakes in the prone. He's certainly medal potential. A lot depends on what this man does. Johannes Tingesbø, 52 World Cup wins to his name. In terms of world titles, he's right up there with the best.
Johannes is lucky, I think, Patrick. The sun is still on this end of the range. It's going to depart soon at, what, local time, 3:10. So he's managed to get the sun on the prone shooting. You can just see there's only 5 lanes left out with the shade.
14 out of 15. Is he heading for world title number 12? It's certainly a possibility. He's drawn level with Frank Luck and Alexander Tikhonov at the moment. But then you've got to remember that Bjorn Dahlen has 20. Martin Fourcade picked up 13 in his time. And Emil Hegler Svensson picked up 12. So he is climbing the order of the all-time best, but he's not quite there yet. Now, Tarjei, all went wrong early on. 5 misses.
I was really hoping that he could find the magic again today, 10 years after his previous win in this event, but 6 penalties today. I'm really surprised. He's a top-class biathlete, of course he is, and to miss 6 is something of a poor performance, so clearly not comfortable today.
Yeah, just wondering whether that's going to cost him a place in the men's relay. He'll be in the mass start with whatever happens. I'm absolutely certain he's not going to be in the single mix relay. As we watch the sprint world champion in action, another man who struggled early. Some you win, some you don't. And today, it's the latter for Ponsiluoma. That's a shame. Now, Jakob Fak is still in this one. 57 seconds outside Johannes Tingesbø. But remember, Bø has missed. Fak seems to have lost rather a lot of time on that last loop, but made up for it with a good clear shoot. 5 more targets to clear for Jakob Fak, and Slovenia starting to believe that something might happen here today.
It's great news. He needed those 5, but will the pressure build up in his mind over the next 4 kilometres? And it's a tough 4 kilometres before the final, last 4 kilometres after his final stand.
I think all the big names through the first shoot, Mike. Leigrid, Johannes Tingesbø, Jakob Fak, Pfeiffer are the top 4 positions. So Pfeiffer started well. He has bib number 61. He started just 2.5 minutes in front of Sturla Holm Leigrid of Norway. So those two certainly are going to make the end of this race exciting. Florian Cloud gets the last one. He gets the last one, but with his level of skiing, you just cannot afford a miss. So that's 19 hits out of 20. There won't be so many athletes who better that.
And the strange thing is, in terms of wind influence, it's not there today. It's one of the easiest entries into any international range we have, and surprisingly, some poor shooting today.
Now, Fillmaier absolutely flying on the tracks. I can't believe a gold is going to come his way with 18 hits out of 20, but a medal certainly. And if he keeps the pace going that he's set so far, he is going to be a good minute 15 inside Jacquelin, his teammate, who has shot the same score. So that's wonderful skiing from Quentin Fillmaier. And he deserves a medal, Mike. He's been so close in the races so far, 6th and 4th.
Yes, Fillmaier, that was a great performance last time in, and there was a lovely little smile, the relief to get through those last 5 shots. And I think you're right, he's still a real contender, the way he's skiing, for a medal, maybe not the gold, but a chance for bronze or silver.
Yeah, Jacquelin not skiing quite as quick today, but he's still shooting incredibly fast. 2 standing shoots in under 40 seconds. He was 19 on the first one, 18.9 on the second standing shoot. Loganov went through in 22.3. No one clear so far.
It's so hard to believe. Twice in 40 seconds. You know, if a newcomer feels the rifle, they'll think it's impossible to shoot that fast, especially when you're exhausted after the test out on the track here.
Yeah, and hit. But the gaps are pretty substantial. Top 10 would be a good result.
We see, I think, mostly in the French team, a lot of movement prior to the first shot, just making sure that the alignment and the relaxation through the body is perfect. It's not paid off for Fabien at the moment, missing 2 out of 5.
Yeah, that was a quick shoot. I wonder whether the French have just said, OK, just shoot as you normally shoot rather than change your game for the individual. Pepi Femling just leading for Sweden. He started well. Try and pick up on his shooting score so far. He's still going well, Mike. 15 out of 15 for Femling, and he's gone through in 6th position after 3.
Oh, that's great news. He was 17th last year. He missed 2 then, so he'll do a whole lot better. And you know what? The way he skis, if he gets the last 5, I think he really could be a contender. Certainly medal option.
Johannes Tingesbø is through the 3rd shoot and leads by 26 seconds over Dale. We're still waiting for Leigrid to take his 2nd shoot. That should be fairly shortly. Leigrid, remember, leading after 1. Dobjan starting to feel the nerves. He looks so cool on his last standing shoot, but you can just see the tension in the face. 4 out of 5, not bad. 18 out of 20 for the day.
Well, there's one miss I was just about to say. Normally, on the big day, he can get 20, but one minute mistake, he'll be so disappointed.
19 out of 20, the best score so far. Simon Eder is in a position to match that. And if he does so, he is going to get another top 10 result.
Have a look at the trigger finger. The skin is exposed there. There's a slit in the glove. You can barely see the added pressure. It snaps so easily, these triggers, just over 500 grams.
That's a lovely, delicate touch with the finger trigger, and 19 out of 20 keeps those percentages at 95% for the day. And Johannes Dale-Mike has cleared 5, having started number 21. He is on an absolute flyer. Is he going to be the first Norwegian male to claim a title? Let's have a look at the time. Eder is out, and Dale absolutely flying. 24 ahead of Fillon Maillet. Fillon Maillet, though, you've got to remember, has missed 2 targets, and Dale just missing 1. So the Frenchman is quicker on the tracks, but we'll wait and see what Dale has saved for the last lap. Finello started number 2, coming in across the line, sets the mark of 53.02. Winning time here last year, 47.54.
Oh. Well, I'm so impressed with Dale. I was saying earlier, he wants this so much. Often the tension and the fear or the over-trying through the rifle, he was composed there under the greatest pressure. And that's a real chance now for a gold.
Detieu not been going his way so far. Probably best just to relax. Give himself a little bit of a boost with 5 hits on the last shoot.
That's the way to do it.
Haven't seen too much of Arndt Pfeiffer. Leigrid likewise. Just checking that, Pfeiffer has been through the 2nd shoot and he's clear. Actually has the leading time, Mike. Isn't he a master of getting it right at the major championships? So many times he's competitive.
He is. Well, here's Leigrid. Fast shooting.
25 seconds inside Pfeiffer. He downs it. Didn't look. It didn't give me a whole lot of confidence, Mike. I sort of sense a little bit of tension in the position, but my goodness, he's been an absolute revelation this year, and great for Norway to know that when the Boers finally retire, they've still got more talent coming up. Jacquelin across the line, 48 seconds the lead, but he will not stay there for long because Fillmaier is closing in on the finish line with a much better time.
Well, Lygrid, you just feel everything about Lygrid today. Wants this gold medal more than anyone. He's just totally in control on the range and not breaking his rhythm at all.
Yeah, and going through two shoots, Mike, they're 53 seconds up on this man, Johannes Tingesbø, who has had a 1 minute penalty added. So he's only gained 7 seconds on both Lygrid and Pfeiffer. That's it. No gold medal for Johannes Tingis today. No crystal globe for the individual. He needed to win to have a chance of that. A 24.9 second shoot, and so often it's that first shot that costs him.
Well, the rebuild of the rifle, he said it could be a spectacular disappointment. It's still okay, 18 out of 20 hits. It's not bad shooting. Can he pull back 31.8 in 4Ks? On his best form, he'd have a go, but not today. Don't think so.
Talia Bø into the finish. No family celebrations. So many times over the years we've seen both brothers on the podium. They're both going to be some way off today.
Benny Dahl, he shoots the foresight on his rifle. It's very small aperture centrally, about 3 millimeters, and a lot of black, a very wide ring around that small gap, but that's the way he likes it. For many, they have a much narrower foresight. Often it does work for Benny Dahl, though.
4 minutes added to Pontaloma's time and pushes him down into third for now, but an early start for the sprint world champion. No success so far today for Sweden. Just looking at Samuelsson's time, he's gone through the 4 shoots, missed 3, so Samuelsson likely to be outside the top 10 come the end of the day. Now, this is the moment that the Slovenian fans have been waiting for. Jakov Fak, the time is not a leading time, but if he clears 5, he might just challenge Johannes Tingesbø. No medals for the host nation today. Lukas Hofer misses 1 as well, trying to do something special for the Italians. Andreas Zingale won this race back in 1993. Hofer is not going to add his name to that list of honour. Here comes Quentin Fillmaier, just overtaking Florent Claude, who's had a good day, but Fillmaier has been flying, Mike, and it's another incredibly rapid last lap. I think there might be medals at stake here. I don't think he's going to get gold, but 1:34 ahead of Jacquelin, having shot the same score. He is on very good form. What is that worth?
Well, interestingly, Daly has taken 10 seconds out of Fillmaier, even though he's skiing so fast, Fillmaier, in the first time split after the range. So Daly is absolutely flying, and Johannes Tingesbø, no chance today of closing the gap.
Martin Jaeger for Switzerland. Finello has finished. He's in third at the moment. 2:22 off the leading time. 50:40 is the leading time at the moment. It's going to come down. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Are they going to beat the 50-minute mark for this 20k individual race here in Pachuca? I think it's highly likely the way that Daly is going. And Daly, Mike, after 3 shoots, well, that doesn't really count. After 2 shoots, he was some way down on Lygrid and Pfeiffer.
Yes, interesting. Now, I'm wondering today with Leigrid going so well, Johannes Tinges Bø, he'll be chasing second place, chasing down Fillon Maillet. We could well get a Norwegian 1, 2, 3 today.
Well, we might, but Pfeiffer and Ries of Germany are going to have something to say about that, because Arnd Pfeiffer has been going so well. He's in second place after 2. Leigrid has the lead. Neither of those two athletes have missed, but so has Roman Ries has cleared 10 out of 10 as well, and he started 64. So those starting in the 60s, Mike, not only are they skiing fast enough to make us think that the conditions are getting a bit quicker, but they're also shooting brilliantly.
Yes, and Artem Prima, he's been on good form lately. We saw that at the European Championships, gold medal in the pursuit competition. He missed 3 that day, but he said his form is coming good through the rifle.
So far, 4 athletes clear after 3. No one has managed to clear all 20 so far. And Leigrid will know that. Pfeiffer will know that. This, you know, Pfeiffer's trademark is to hit 20 in the individual. He's done it so many times, Mike, when it really matters.
He is a master of the big day, isn't he? Arnd Pfeiffer. Komats, I thought today would hit 19 or even 20. He's that good normally, but he's missed 2 out of 5 third time in. That was fast, missing 1 again, so 22.7 seconds. Really, really fast shooting. Almost just getting into the carefree mode, but picking up a minute extra within that 22-second phase.
So at the moment, it looks like a Dahle, Pfeiffer, Leigrid battle for top honours. Who would you put your money on in that duel, Mike, when you consider that Johannes Dahle has gone through the last shoot with only 1 miss?
Yes, I think the way that Leigrid for me is just so focused, a little like Jacques Lang was in the pursuit competition. I feel that Leigrid today really wants this one and can manage himself through the rifle.
Yeah, we're looking for bib numbers 61, 64 and 66. And Artem Prima, must be said, of Ukraine, isn't far off the mark. Johannes Dahle, 32 seconds inside. Now, is that going to be good enough for a win? 50.08, just misses out on the 50-minute barrier, but Dahle has really laid down everything on that last loop. 32 seconds clear of Fillon Maillet, having come out of the range 24 behind. That is some effort. Should be good enough for a medal. The question is, what colour is it going to be for Dahle? There are actually 3 or 4 men who can deny him, but I just feel he gave so much on that last loop. Now, Pfeiffer, 10 out of 10 so far. Just watch the eyes, watch the concentration, and the lack of movement at the end of the rifle. World champion in the individual from Östersund 2 years ago, and he keeps himself in the running for the gold medal here. Johannes Tinges Bø at 30.46. He's going to be bettered by some margin. Pfeiffer goes to the top of the table. Germany, who didn't have anyone in the top 20 in the sprint, suddenly are in a position to win a gold medal here in Pachuca. And actually, the sport needs that, Mike, because so many of the fans, the high percentage of fans, come from Germany.
They do, and when you often get them around the track, it can lift you, but it appears Pfeiffer doesn't need any lifting today. Johannes has moved ahead of Fillon Maillet on the track, but working hard to stay there.
Detieux with 4 misses. The French hoping that Fillon Maillet can survive. All the French choosing to go early today. I can't see anyone who from France who can really challenge the leaders now. Germany certainly, as we know, have Pfeiffer. Norway have Dahle, who is already in the clubhouse with a very, very good time, just over that 50-minute mark. But if this man goes clear on shoot number 3, then he is going to join Pfeiffer at the top of the leaderboard.
just thinking that the few bits of track that still have sunshine on, it's still very wet in the sunshine, but I think that there's at 3:30 local time in the shade, I think it's beginning to ice over slightly, and potentially an advantage without a doubt in terms of ski glide.
10 years younger than Arnd Peiffer. 10 years less experience of World Cup racing, and so much less experienced in terms of majors. The up-down movement of the end of the barrel with the breathing. Leigrid settles quickly, lets the rounds go. He is going to the top two. Johannes Tingesbø across the line, 32.6 outside with 2 misses today. Seems to be a theme for the championships. Leigrid with a 36.6 second lead. Now, Mike, that sounds fantastic, but it's less than a shot. He's got to build that to a minute over Peiffer to have any sort of comfort when he comes in for his last shoot.
I think so. The way that Peiffer is attacking out there. What happened to, changing subject, what happened to Johannes Tingesbø? He was ahead of Fayez Maillet with 900 meters to go, and he's let it slip to 3rd place. Really surprised. I wonder if he had all the information he needed. 0.6 of a second bronze medal to silver.
Yep. Yeah, a 4 second swing over the last 900 meters. Don't forget, Mike, he doesn't have a sprint finish. We're seeing that time and time again. And so many of the greats, when it comes to endurance and the time trial events, just don't have a sprint. Bjorn Dahlen didn't have one. It was his undoing many times. And of course, Bjorn Daehlie, he never had a sprint to keep himself alive when it was a close finish.
Yeah, that's interesting, and Fayez Maillet has a sparky finish, but I am surprised with getting split times out in the track, Johannes, and he looked disappointed. He looked very surprised when he had a little glance at the scoreboard. Mark Kirchner must be getting excited and nervous at the same moment, certainly for Peiffer.
One more shoot for Peiffer, and Roman Rees, Mike, started 64 and missed his 3rd shoot. He's actually missed one now. He's gone down into 14th. He would have been up in 2nd place ahead of Peiffer had he cleared all 15. 5 out of 5 will give Benny Doll a respectable result. Not the one he wants, but respectable. Good shooting, good comeback, hitting the last 10, and he'll be top 10. Good World Cup points. Don't forget the World Championship races also counting for the World Cup. And incidentally, this year, at the end of the season, the worst 4 races get taken away as we see Lukas Hofer exit the range for the last time. And Mike, you know, by taking 4 races away instead of 2, it really is a big disadvantage to Johannes Tingesbø.
It is. Johannes has been so consistent throughout the whole season. What worst result is it? 10th or 12th position, and it almost feels a little unfair, but that decision was made back in November. It's not a Jakob Fak day. A Slovenian medal not going to happen today. That's a real shame for Jakob Fak.
Leif Nordgren for USA. The Americans shooting pretty well today, it has to be said. So 18 out of 20. 1001 has a nice symmetry to it, but it'd much rather they were all clear. Now Peiffer coming through 12.3 ahead of Johannes Tingesbø, going through the 13.9 kilometer stage, what was he, some 22 seconds ahead of Johannes Tingesbø. So Peiffer is running out of gas, I think, Mike.
I thought he might do as the race progresses. He attacked so firm from the word go. He's still got a long way to go, and when you start losing pace, it then becomes a very difficult fight on the track. It is, I think, the toughest 20-kilometer track-wise in the whole calendar.
Felix Leitner coming in for Austria. The Austrians with 2 silver medals, one in the single mixed relay, not the single mixed relay, the mixed relay, and of course Hauser getting a silver in the individual as well. Hauser, very, very good performance in the pursuit. Hauser missing 2 actually yesterday on the last shoot, Mike. Otherwise, she was in the gold medal position. There were only 3 women on the result sheet of the women's individual who would have won had they shot the perfect 0, which is unusual. But a huge number would have been in the medals had they gone clear.
Yes, the last shot often from the first 45 athletes on the result sheet, you often get up to 27 of those 45 last time in, missing 1 or more targets out of 5. Seppälä, he's really improving all round. Seppälä, his endurance, his shooting is improving.
So another 3-second gain by Lygrid on the climb out of the stadium over Pfeiffer. Still, should Pfeiffer go clear and Lygrid miss one, the advantage switches to Germany. That is the severity of the penalty given for a missed shot in this individual. And over the years, Mike, when you first started, what was a good time for an individual? Somewhere close to the hour?
It really was 57 minutes, then it would drop to 54 and then eventually 53. Yeah, it was quite different in those days in terms of track structures. They're on the same loop all the time now. We used to go out into the forest on different tracks.
Artem Prima, you've just seen, becoming only the 8th man to clear the first 15 targets, and it's put him up in the 4th position. So Prima may well have a crack at a medal if he can clear all 5 on the last shoot. Arndt Pfeiffer only 3.3 clear now. That's an extraordinary loss of time. He's lost over 20 seconds to Johannes Tingesbø on this penultimate loop. Is he saving something for the shoot and saving something for the last lap, or are his fuel gauges on 0?
Well, you know, we've seen him in the past. When it really matters, he can dig in. So maybe he's just going through a wobble, a bad patch in his race. He'll be trying to focus on the shooting coming up and then attack the final 4 kilometers.
Yeah, but he'd much rather give away 30 seconds on the track and hit all the targets than to hold his own and miss a target and throw away a minute.
I think so. You have to be disciplined in this race not to take yourself over your comfort place. Pep Femling, the first to shoot all 20. And, we mentioned often he misses 1, 2 or 3 last time in, but the absolute total concentration today, that's a good performance.
Yeah, excellent, but 2:36 slower than Dale, who has missed 1, so effectively 3.5 minutes slower. Dale would have been finished while Femling was at the 18.5 kilometre stage. That is the difference. Hasilla, can he become the 2nd man to hit 15? 1 minute behind. It's not a bad run, to be honest. If 5 go... Oh.
So tough if it's a new experience. You know, you hit your first 15, it's a World Championships. This is a new experience, and you can just feel the tension. Oh, so sad to see that happen.
So, Pfeiffer, his chance. If he clears 5, he puts an immense amount of pressure onto Lygrid, who is yet to shoot. If you're ever going to put money on a man to hit the last 5, this is probably the one. Down they go, down they go, and Mark Kirchner knows that might save his job in the long run. And the German fans will be on their feet saluting Arndt Pfeiffer. What a servant he's been to the German team over the years, Mike.
He really has.
Fantastic. 32 seconds inside, and suddenly Dale's position is under threat. Now we're going to find out what he saved for the last loop, Mike, because Dale was quick.
Dale was very, very quick. I think Arndt Pfeiffer with that kind of advantage as he heads out with 32 advantage, that's a huge margin. He did look very tired previous time. I think he was playing safe to not be overboiled, lactic flooding as he comes into the final shoot. And now I think we'll see him open up the pace again.
So the man who won this title 2 years ago, Arnt Pfeiffer, is on top of the table. And from the third shoot, he was bettered by Leigrid. Artem Prima, who started 75. I don't think Prima can do anything about it, Mike. He was just around 50 seconds behind Pfeiffer at the start of that penultimate loop. And so I think really the only man who can challenge Leigrid can challenge Pfeiffer is Leigrid, who will be in to shoot in the next minute and a half. And of course, Johannes Daly, who is already in the finish area with a posted time of 50.08. Well, here is Leigrid. 15 out of 15 so far. Another 5, and he'll take the world title. Second best shot of the season. That is how to do it. Wow, he's just shown what he's made of, Mike. You know, there was no expectation on his shoulders at the start of the season, but so many expecting something fantastic from him here at the World Championships. He's going to claim the Crystal Globe for the individual races this season. And remember, when he joined the tour at the back end of last season, he hardly missed the target. He's gone clear today. He's got a 39-second lead. Unless he falls, he is going to beat Arnt Pfeiffer across the line.
He certainly is. And isn't that incredible? You saw Mazet, the shooting coach, the Frenchman for the Norwegian team, celebrating there. And just, it's not a long time ago when Leigrid won his first race. And on that day, Mazet had said, oh, don't worry about your 0. It was a little off. He said, you're not expected to win anyway. And the first race of the season. And I think Leigrid showed us that day what he has, hitting all the targets that day and winning ahead of Johannes Tinges Bø. And at the World Championships, to hit all 20, never easy, especially when the pressure is heaped on you, as Leigrid has been so good in this race and managed to hold his nerve throughout.
Yeah, so of the 60 shots in individuals this year, he's hit 58 of them, missed 2 in Antolz. I thought it was 1. He actually missed 2 in Antolz, but he's 3 individual races. On 2 occasions, he's gone clear. There are plenty of men, Mike, who go through their whole career and never shoot clear in an individual. He's done 2 in a season.
Oh, it's so true. Some athletes don't manage to achieve that. It's not an easy thing to do. They're very small targets.
And he looks as though he's going to be joining the 0 club.
Yeah, very much an elite club that is, to take the title with the perfect shooting score. Just looking at split times though, lap times, as Langer, well, missing what, total of 5. Not a bad result for the Belgium athlete, but Leigrid's ski speed last lap was at 18 seconds off Fillon Maillet's fastest lap time.
Yeah, Leigrid, if he's had one weakness this season, Mike, it has been the last lap. He's quite happy to admit that. I thought he's looked better over the last couple of weeks, but it's going to be interesting to see what he can give. An advantage of 39 seconds. He'll be glad that that advantage is over Pfeiffer and not over Johannes Daly, or, of course, Johannes Tinges Bø.
Very much, but 39.5. It's a safe margin. Here's Morovitz. So often he can show the rest of the world how to put 20 down. Not today. He's missed 1 out of 15. Uniquely, he always takes that little bend down as he puts the magazine in, stretches the legs out. So 19 out of 20, and again showing us control, the mind control to get the last 5, Morovitz.
So 28 seconds when he came out of the range. It was at I beg your pardon. It was what was it, 33? So 5 seconds lost by Pfeiffer. I think he'll be able to hold on, provided he goes over the top of this climb with a 20-second lead, Mike.
I think yes. I think he's safe. The coach trying maybe to tell him he has a chance of winning, but it's such an advantage to Leigrid. Deficit of 39.5. It's so unlikely.
Yeah, and actually he went over the top of the hill with good speed. I think the support from the coach is really helping Pfeiffer there. Daly still leads. Fillon Maillet 2, Johannes Tinges Bø 3. Both Fillon Maillet and Bø in danger of being knocked off the podium. Well, here's the man who is likely to take top honours today. Leigrid, impeccable on the range. So much pressure. particularly with Arnd Pfeiffer posting a 0 score. Ziggy Mazet, it's not been the best of championships for him, but suddenly he has a gold medal, a likely gold medal to celebrate. I think he knows that Leijgren is quick enough to hold off Arnd Pfeiffer on this last loop. 73, of course, is Felix Leitner, 14 out of 15. This could be a top 10 if he goes clear. That left hand looks very close to him, Mike.
It is, and he's buying a lot. The heavy part of the rifle is the barrel, so a lot of weight counterbalanced out there. You could see the look there. He's missed his last shot. That's uneasy.
Still waiting for Artem Prima, who is, by my reckoning, the only man who's got a chance of taking the bronze medal away from Dale. Leijgren now at 29. When he came out of the chute, he was at 39, so he's lost 10 seconds to Pfeiffer, who really has turned it up and showing his experience of going a little bit steady on the penultimate lap.
I think that was very clever. The coach informing him that at the moment Pfeiffer has the advantage. To take 10 seconds from the range to the high point, that's a significant amount of time, but still likely to hang on in there for the victory.
But that's at 17.9. Remember, it's a 20-kilometre race, so there is a way to go. And if Pfeiffer's got a good set of skis. Now, this is a big moment for Artem Prima. A clear chute and a quick chute, and he might challenge Dale, but there goes his chance of a medal. Still going to be the best of the Ukrainian performances today. 19 out of 20. We've got precious few in the finish area who've hit 19 out of 20. Femling's the only one who's gone clear, who's in the finish at the moment. We know that Pfeiffer and Leijgren have done it. %. I guess that's pretty average, Mike, but with the conditions we've got today, I was sort of expecting to see 5 or 6 with a perfect score.
Well, Khalili, we mentioned him at the start. He is brilliant when it comes to shooting, less effective when it comes to his skiing. They were hoping he would manage to pick his form up at the European Champs. He was put there for that reason, and it seems to have worked. He's only 108 behind there with 15 out of 15 hits, third time in.
Well, looking forward to seeing who Norway select for the single mixed relay, Mike. Who would you go for? Leijgren. Oh. Leijgren's going to be tired after this. I think that probably rules him out, to be honest.
I mean, it's a tough one. The obvious choice is Johannes Tingesbø, but Leijgren is just beyond belief strong through the rifle.
Here comes Pfeiffer. He's only got a couple of 100 metres to go now for Arnd Pfeiffer. 34 seconds to play with. Dale, I think, knows he's going down into second place. Gets a little boost as he drops down the descent into the finish straight. And Arnd Pfeiffer posts the quickest time so far. The champion from 2019 goes top for now. But we still have Leijgren out on the tracks. And the last time we saw, Leijgren had a lead of 29 seconds. He should be able to hold on to that. But Pfeiffer certainly travelling the quicker of the two on the last loop. But when there's a World Championship gold at stake, Mike, I think you dig a little bit deeper than normal. It's down to 22 now, another 7 seconds going. But he's only got 900 metres to survive, and 450 metres of that is downhill.
He has to be careful. The coach keeping a wide berth. The last thing you want is being tripped up by a coach. It has happened in the final stages, but it certainly looks, with only 900 metres to go, that it is Leijgren Dave. Arnd Pfeiffer probably knows that, but hey, silver is great.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic for Pfeiffer. 33 years old, still showing the youngsters how to do it. We've seen Bjorndalen take a fall on the final lap of a race to lose a title here in Pachuca. Raphael Poiré came through to claim that one.
Garanashevy got a hard time in the press for being selected for these championships. It was only for this race, though.
That's
okay.
Not bad. 18 out of 20. The best performance from the RBU. I'm having to go down and down and down and down. It's not a good day. We'll pick it up at some stage. I will focus on Lygrid's finish first, and then we'll see how poorly the RBU have done today. Sturlaholm Lygrid, here he comes, 23-year-old, who didn't shock us with a win at the start of the season, Mike, but I think he did shock some of his teammates by winning that race in Kontiolahti, the individual.
Yeah, it was a huge statement. Just showed that he had landed, and he's still functioning at the very top, mid-February.
Well, he had 39 seconds to play with when he exited the range, and it's dropped down below 20. Lygrid, though, has survived. He's going sub 50 seconds. He's going sub 49.44, which is the important factor, and he takes top spot. No one will better that time. We have our world champion, and the Norwegian men at last have an individual gold medalist here. They extend their lead at the top of the medal table. They go to 4 golds and 2 bronzes. Their 6th medal of these championships, and they may well get a 7th with Dale, but I don't think Dale can start his celebrations quite yet. Roman Rees.
It's good from Rees, very good. Only 1 missed, but 8th position. I'm just thinking, Lygrid, he's had a first, he's had a second, and now again a first from the 320 kilometers. He is only 23-year-old, but he is the grandmaster of shooting. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of mind strength to hit so many targets in this race.
Yeah, I think his psychologist is going to be hot property, and if he's his own psychologist, I think there's a job for him once he's finished skiing. That was absolutely brilliant display of nerve control for that last shoot. Now, Johannes Kern was quick early on, but those 2 misses on the first stand have put pay to any chances of a top 10.
Have a look at the missed shots around the target. You absolutely see a less crisp sighting through the target at 50 meters away, and that's lanes 16, 17, 17 closed down, so 15 and 16 are being used by most athletes, and it really doesn't help your sight picture when you're shooting on a completely shot out target.
Yeah, and you also see, Mike, the majority of the misses going high right. Explain what that involves.
It's timing, and it's delayed timing effectively. So the body's tired, your mind's tired, and most biathletes just being a little bit less reactive, I think, in terms of the last 5 shooting.
Good finish from Tersan, having missed the first one on that last shoot, but it pushes him to over 4.5 minutes behind. He's going to get some World Cup points, but 3.5 minutes behind would have seen him in the top 15, which would have been a fabulous result for him. It's not going to happen today. 4 Ks to go. They're going to be painful kilometres. The race has been won, and an absolutely brilliant display from Sturlaholm Lygrid of Norway, 49.27. The margin in the end, Mike, only 16 seconds. So Piper had an absolute stormer on that last loop.
Yes, just looking at lap times, Lygrid had been in top 5 most of the race. 6th fastest, actually 4th lap, but he was way down, 22nd fastest. He burnt a lot of his bridges on that journey, but it was enough to survive. Arne Piper lifted up again to 4th fastest time, having dropped below 10th fastest on one of his laps.
Yeah, and not for the first time here in Pachuca, the importance of hitting 20 out of 20 in the individual, emphasised by the fact that gold and silver both have the perfect score. Welcome back to Pachuca. The main business of the day is done. Here are the intermediate results, unconfirmed. There are a few people out on the tracks, but the top three will not change now. Lygrid, Paifadale are taking the gold, the silver and the bronze. So a much, much better day for the Norwegian men. Quentin Fillon-Maillet, Mike, he was quick, but two misses costing him his chance. He would have been silver had he hit one more target. And Johannes Tingesbø, likewise, 1:13, almost exactly the same ski time as Quentin Fillon-Maillet.
Yes, and two targets missed, both of those names. Johannes Tingesbø missing two. It is too many. He would have survived a medal if it had only been one. That would have been second place, and of course a win had he managed to get all 20.
Now, no repeat of the Finnish performance back in 2001 when the World Championships were last here, and they took a win with Purinen.
Yep, great day for Purinen. He was one of the leaders in terms of fast shooting in those days, and often hitting 20 out of 20. Prima so disappointed he will be missing one out of the last 5, having hit the first 15. And he would have been, what, 6th position, taking that 1 minute away. Khalili.
Still only 3 men with the perfect shooting score. Khalili could join them. 134 behind. It's not a bad run. It will certainly be the best of the Russian performances if he clears 5. I sort of get the feeling he's done his sniper training.
Well, that was control, wasn't it? As such a late starter, he knows exactly what's ahead of him. Doesn't quite have the ski speed, and I think he'll lose another, what, 20 seconds, 25 over this last lap.
Yeah, but top 7 is still possible. Benny Doll in 7th place, 2:06 behind. So Khalili, if he can limit the damage on the last loop to 20 seconds, will get himself his best of the season. Yeah, he would have been 4th had all the targets gone down, and that for Simoneda is a fantastic result. He's still sitting in 6th, but he would have been 59 seconds behind, which would have put him just ahead of Quentin Fillon-Maillet. He's still competitive even at his age.
37-year-old, and interesting there. Yes, he used to be the fastest shot for many years at what, 21, 23 seconds, and he hasn't backed off that much, maybe by 4 or 5 seconds. But it really makes a difference. You can manage your breathing a lot more. You're not putting yourself in extreme risk with shooting in 21, 20 seconds, and he is the best, the most accurate person this season, Simoneda.
Now, as we watch Goranichev come in, Mike, with that characteristic free skate of his, not a bad sprint to the line. That's a very, very fine run from him, 15th place. Lygrid becomes the 6th Norwegian to win this title. Can you rattle them off?
Gislefin, Erik Kvalfoss, Svensson. I don't have the list in front of me. You go then a long way back to the 70s to pick up names that I'm not familiar with. And
did Bjorn Dahlen never win it?
Once. Is that right?
That's good enough. That's good enough.
Yeah.
I don't have the list in front of me, but I just was struggling to name them myself. We'll work on that and certainly come back to you with it during the single mixed relay. Svensson is certainly there. Bakharnikov with 3 minutes added to the time. A 3:35 would have been a top 20 result. And Belarus have Smolsky and Lebastu down in 25 and 26 at the moment.
I've got those Norwegian names. Of course, Tarjei Bø, we mentioned him 10 times in the race. He won 10 years ago. And Svensson, of course, Bjørn Dalen, of course, Halvard Hannevold, then Erik Kvalfoss, Odd Learhouse, but that's way back in 1978, and Jon Ishtat and Olav Jordet. That was way back in 65.
Well, that sounds like more than 6 to me. But yeah, they've got a good history. And Hannevold, of course, an Olympic title in the individual and a world title.
He certainly did. Zemlica can have his personal best here if he gets this one. And he's got it.
So 5 now clear. And this could be worth the top 25. Certainly going top 30. And that will be something to celebrate, and maybe inspired by Davidova's performance yesterday, Mike. The Czechs delighted to get themselves a gold medal in the women's individual.
Oh, and it was something of a surprise, because Davidova really hadn't been at the races in terms of her shooting, and then all of a sudden she hits them all and takes the gold. Certainly inspirational.
Here comes Tristan into the finish. We're just trying to line up Johannes Tingesbo, who remains the overall World Cup leader, although he loses quite a few points to Leigrid, the winner here today. Here is the great Johannes. It's not been his day, down in 5th place with 2 misses. Let's see what he has to say. And I tell you what, Mike, with the new rules of 4 results being taken away at the end of the season, Martin Fourcade there congratulating Leigrid, you know, one master to another. And I think they would have an interesting conversation over a bottle of wine on how to compete, how to beat the best when it comes to the individual. But, Mike, the gap in the World Cup standings effectively down to 19 points when you take away the 4 worst results.
It's incredible, and of course Leigrid gets the Crystal Globe for this, the individual competition, 2 times first, 1 time second. And Martin Fourcade, for me, the master, he knew how to control himself under great pressure. He won this title 4 times.
Yeah, Julian Eberhardt for Austria across the line, starting number 92. That's not a bad ski. He would have been 4th had he hit all the targets. He hasn't. He's a long way off. But this man did. Sturla Holm Leigrid, who opened the season with his first ever World Cup win. He comes to the World Championships and he's won arguably the toughest event of all. The individual 20-kilometre, 20 targets out of 20, and delight for Ziggy Mazet. At last, the Norwegian men have a world champion here in Påkuka.
Just thinking, Johannes Dale, he's a little in the shadow, isn't he? But a bronze medal for Dale today. It's a great performance, missing just 1 target. Take that 1 target away and he would have had the gold.
Yeah, 3 Norwegians in the top 5. They're definitely the team of the day. But in that Norwegian squad, it's the youngsters who have done the best. And that's such good. It's really good news, actually, for Norwegian biathlon, Mike, that it's not just about Johannes Tingesbø and his brother.
But it must be tough for Johannes Tingesbø now. You know, he misses 2 targets. We've seen a day where when he misses 2, that he can still absolutely challenge podiums and even win races. But it's too many targets missed today.
But as Bill Cox said, the former American cross-country skier, getting to the top is easy. Staying there is virtually impossible. And Johannes has to adapt to the men that he's up against. It was all about Johannes versus Martin Fourcade for the last 3 seasons. Now he's got some younger fish to contend with.
He certainly has. And when they're internal, when they're in your team, you're being watched. We saw Trevor Kears taking an unfortunate fall there, and there he is across the line.
Kalili looking to produce the best result for the RBU. They've got Goranichev in 15th at the moment. Loginov down in 28. Jake Brown, the best of the Americans, lying in 20th at the moment. Kalili should be able to get inside his time, having gone clear. He was lying in 6th when he went through 19.1. So there is a chance that Simonetta will be pushed down into 7th position. How's he done? He certainly looks to have raised his game on this last 4-kilometre loop.
Certainly his best ski form, I think we've seen all season. He's been back at IBU Cup, at the European Championships. He's lifted his game and he's mastered these 20 shots.
Yeah, what a transformation for Kalili with 20. Goes into 6th. He holds off Simonetta, who gets pushed down into 7th. Ada, of course, shooting 19 out of 20. We've mentioned the Norwegians, Mike, because we watched Rasta Guyev coming in. A very late start. I haven't seen too much because he missed early on, and 2 misses putting him out of contention. Had he hit 20 out of 20, 1:30 behind would have put him into 6th place. Well, let's have a look at those who have claimed medals here in Pachuca. Johannes Dali started relatively early. 1 mistake from Dali, but the quickest ski time of the top 3. He gets himself a bronze. The ever-present, ever-youthful Arndt Pfeiffer has done it again. He took gold back in 2019. He takes silver today, much to the delight of Mark Kirchner. Great tactics from Pfeiffer. He saved something for that last loop, and that turned his bronze into a silver. But there was nothing he could do about Sturla Holm Lygrid. Started fast, shot perfectly, and then survived the last 4,000 meters. He is the world champion for the first time. Well, that's it from Pachuca for today. Hope you enjoyed that one. What an individual it was. Single mix relay tomorrow. Team selection is going to be as interesting as the race itself. Snooker coming up next on Eurosport. Do join us tomorrow morning. The single mix starts at 2:15 UK time, 15:15 if you're lucky enough to be in Pachuca itself.
Andy, race away.